8 days after Benjamin Netanyahu's press conference, Donald Trump made a statement which reignited the arms race in the Middle East.
I am announcing today that the United States will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal. We will not allow a regime that chants death to America to gain access to the most deadly weapons on earth.
Ce qui était grave, c'est que en sortant de l'accord, les Iraniens n'avaient plus aucun intérêt à finalement retenir leurs actions dans la région, que ce soit au Liban, en Irak et en Syrie. Et il est vrai que quand les États-Unis sont sortis de l'accord, les Iraniens ont accéléré le processus d'enrichissement.
The Iranian authorities felt betrayed. They resumed their uranium enrichment program. They relied on scientists who were loyal to the regime. Most of them attended the same university, the Imam Hussein Military Academy. The Revolutionary Guards hold their annual parades in the central square of this establishment, including choreography depicting the destruction of Israel.
Killing the scientist was under the guidelines of we killed key nuclear scientists, the most brilliant ones, those who are in charge of weaponization. We will kill them.
Since the mid-2000s, Iran has seen a wave of attacks on nuclear scientists. 6 of them are killed in their cars by gunfire or small bombs stuck to their doors.
C'est impossible de mener les opérations qu'ils ont menées ces dernières années sans avoir complètement infiltré les services iraniens. Pourquoi en Iran ils réussissent après à infiltrer à ce niveau le régime? Pour une raison très simple, parce que ce régime est détesté.
Over the years, Israel has taken advantage of the political repression and economic crisis in Iran to recruit a network of agents and informers throughout the country. And Mossad used this network to strike the nuclear mastermind, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh.
There are certain characters in history that deserve being eliminated for the better of their own people and the world. Fakhrizadeh was clearly justifiable.
Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was the top nuclear scientist of Iran. The CIA, but also the French and the British and the Germans, all of the intelligence services were after him, but above all Israel, the Mossad.
The head of the nuclear program, depicted here with his wife veiled in black, always traveled under armed escort. It was impossible for a team of killers to get close to him, but Mossad found a loophole. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh drove his own car when the couple returned from their holiday home.
Il part de sa maison de campagne pour aller à Téhéran. À ses côtés, il y a sa femme.
His guard, they warned him, you are not careful enough.
The convoy made this journey of around 250 kilometers regularly.
The plan was very, very clever. Maybe the first killing in modern history, which it was activated by artificial intelligence and robotics.
A few minutes before arriving at their destination, none of the guards noticed a vehicle parked on the side of the road. There's no one nearby.
C'est une camionnette lambda bleue Nissan Zamiat, qui est une camionnette extrêmement répandue en Iran, très utilisée notamment par les vendeurs de fruits et légumes, qui est sur le bas-côté.
Inside the van was a 1-ton robotic machine gun, which was transported in sections from Israel. It was hidden under sandbags and building equipment and covered by a tarpaulin.
Cette mitrailleuse, elle est déclenchée à 2000 km de là, en Israël, au moment où Mohsen Fakhrizadeh passe avec sa femme.
The robot fired multiple bursts 15 times. The data transmission delay from Tel Aviv was 1.6 seconds, so the shots were adjusted in real time by artificial intelligence.
Et sa femme n'est pas tuée. Il n'y a que lui qui est tué.
This assassination is a new humiliation for the Iranian leaders.
تو پروتکل‌های صهیونیسمی اصلا اصله که شما مخالف خودت رو هر جای دنیا پیدا کردی بکش و هیچ نگران این نباش که بخوان به شما مثلا آسیبی برسونن یا مخالفتی باید بکنن.
This shadow war, which went on for over 20 years, mobilized the best Israeli intelligence officers to work together. But it led the government to neglect the threat on its southwestern border, Hamas, which controlled the Gaza Strip. On the 7th of October 2023, Hamas militiamen stormed Israeli border crossings and advanced several kilometers into Israel. The attack left 1,195 people dead, with 251 people taken hostage. This setback led to a radical rethinking of Israeli military strategy.
This horrific attack has changed Israel because for many years now, Israel has thought that if we keep things stable and relatively calm, it will be okay.
Les Israéliens, le 7 octobre, en fait, ils prennent une décision finalement assez simple et logique de leur point de vue. C'est de se dire qu'on doit en finir avec cet axe de la résistance. C'est plus possible, qu'il faut les anéantir.
In October 2023, the Israeli army began a massive bombing campaign in the Gaza Strip. The officially stated aim of this military operation was to put an end to Hamas. It is said to have killed more than 70,000 Palestinians, the vast majority of them civilians. One year later in Lebanon, hundreds of pagers owned by Hezbollah members exploded, injuring nearly 3,000 people. This marked the start of a bombing campaign. Israel destroyed the militias' arsenal and eliminated its entire chain of command, including its emblematic leader, Hassan Nasrallah. Hezbollah, the centerpiece of the axis of resistance, collapsed. This paved the way for the fall of Bashar al-Assad in December 2024. The Syrian regime gave way to a coalition of militias, and Israel took advantage of the chaos to bomb what was left of the Syrian army.
All of the Syrian air defense capabilities have been hit by Israel following the fall of the Assad regime, which sort of opened the way to fly east to Tehran without Iran getting early warning about it. Because if the Syrian radars would have seen Israeli airplanes taking off, they would have alerted Iran. Once that was removed, the Israeli aircrafts could go basically all the way to Iran undetected.
Benjamin Netanyahu's long-awaited opportunity to attack Iran was finally within reach, especially as on the other side of the Atlantic, his best ally had just been re-elected to the White House. The Israeli Prime Minister traveled to Washington on multiple occasions, hoping to get the green light from Donald Trump. With the agreement of the United States, Israel launched its offensive on Tehran on the night of the 12th of June, 2025. These images are filmed and broadcast by the Israeli army to control the narrative of this war.
Israël commence à attaquer l'Iran au milieu de la nuit. Les habitants de Téhéran, en grande partie, entendent ces bombes, sont réveillés par les bombes. Sauf qu'en fait, il faut savoir une chose, à la différence d'Israël, il n'y a pas d'abri pour les Iraniens.
اخطار فوری به تمامی افرادی که همکنون و یا در آینده نزدیک در داخل و یا حوالی کارخانجات تولید تسلیحات نظامی و نهادهای پشتیبانی.
The Israeli army speak directly to Iranians on social media, telling them to evacuate.
Sauf que les sites militaires, les Iraniens ne savent pas où ils se trouvent. Parce que c'est caché, c'est pas du tout indiqué. Donc quand l'armée israélienne demande aux Iraniens de s'éloigner des sites militaires, allez où en fait? Il y a une sidération, il y a ceux qui peuvent, ils fuient Téhéran, ils fuient vers le nord, ils fuient vers l'est, enfin ils fuient là où ils peuvent aller. Des embouteillages, il y a une panique. Très rapidement, ils se sont rendus compte que les Israéliens pouvaient frapper à n'importe quel moment, à n'importe quel endroit. Il y a même la télévision d'État qui est bombardée en direct. Cette femme en tchador, défenseur du régime, cette image de la télé d'État qui est l'outil de propagande porte-parole de ce régime qui explose en direct. Une image qui, je crois, est l'image de cette guerre, de ces 12 jours qu'on retient tous.
من طبقه اول بودم بمباران شد. نمیدونم چند تا از همکارام شهید شدن. نمیدونم چند نفر مجروح شدن.
As evening fell on the 13th of June 2025, the Iranians started to retaliate with drone and ballistic missile strikes. It was a massive operation aiming to saturate and penetrate Israeli defenses.
البته ما می‌دونیم ترکیبی پهپاد و موشک با هم میرن. پهپادا سیستم‌های پدافندیشون رو چیز میکنن، به قول معروف اختلال درش ایجاد میکنن و بعد راه رو باز میکنن برای موشک.
With Americans and neighbors and our capacity, and we know the time, we can destroy an impressive percentage of the ballistic missiles and drones, almost all the drones and some 85% of the ballistic missiles.
Despite defensive fire, as here in the center of Tel Aviv, around 50 missiles hit Israeli territory. In all, Israel suffered 28 dead, including 27 civilians. On the Iranian side, the death toll was much higher, over 1,000, including between 200 and 300 civilians.
Tonight I wish to speak to you, the proud people of Iran. We're in the midst of one of the greatest military operations in history, Operation Rising Lion. The objective of Israel's military operation is to remove both the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat to Israel.
Arak, Parchin, Natanz, Isfahan. With total dominance over airspace, the Israeli Air Force can strike any of the country's nuclear facilities at will, except one, Fordo. This enrichment facility, built under a mountain, remains beyond the reach of Israeli bombs.
La centrale de Fordo, qui est une des centrales où l'Iran enrichit son uranium, l'Iran l'a construit de manière à se protéger de 99,9% des bombes existantes.
Only the U.S. bunker buster bombs have the capability of reaching such a facility and destroying it. The bunker busters were designed specifically for the North Korean and Iranian nuclear weapons programs because we knew they were taking place underground.
This bomb was developed in 2009 when the intelligence services discovered the existence of Fordo. It is the most powerful non-nuclear weapon in the US arsenal and can pierce up to 60 meters of rock before exploding. Because of its size and weight, it can only be deployed by the American B-2 stealth bomber. On the 21st of June 2025, Donald Trump launched Operation Midnight Hammer. 7 B-2 planes took off from the United States to fly halfway around the world, and they hit Fordo.
Thank you very much. I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. Thank you.
After 12 days of fighting, a ceasefire is declared. The American president boasts that he has obliterated Tehran's nuclear program. But Western intelligence services have their doubts. In fact, this is the only point on which the Israelis and Iranians are in complete agreement.
با وجود اینکه آمریکایی اومدن بمبارون کردن، رژیم صهیونیستی اومده بمبارون کرده، چون با بمباران دانشمند هسته‌ای ما رو میگیرن. ممکنه مراکز هسته‌ای ما رو هم نابود بکنن. ولی علم و فناوری رو از ما نمیتونن بگیرن.
Iran's nuclear program is not over. We have not erased it from the face of the earth. We've hit it significantly, but it's there. The enriched uranium is still there. And potentially there are centrifuges that are left in certain places.
Before the war in June 2025, Iran had 440 kilograms of 60% concentrated uranium. For the moment, no one knows how much has been destroyed or where the remaining reserves are hidden. In Iran, as in Israel, even before repairing the damage caused by the fighting, both governments have started to rebuild their arsenal, with their fingers on the trigger.